Hey, doing a little bit of baking with Titus. Mother's Day is coming up. Everybody been asking me to do a tutorial on how to do different types of baking stuff, designs, and everything. So I decided since Mother's Day is coming up, you know, mothers love roses and whatnot. So I thought, hey, why not show people how to make roses for designs to go on cakes and whatnot if they decide to make a cake for their mother. And it's gonna be really easy how to make a rose. It's not that hard. It's very simple. I done taught plenty of people how to make them. Basically, you're gonna need a couple of items. You're gonna need you a rose spinner. You can go get them from Hobby Lobby for $6.99, and a couple of tips. You can get you some piping bags of tips and everything in a set. It usually will run you, probably a good set will probably run you $45 from Walmart. If you want to just get you some piping bags, they're like $6.99 for 100 bags. And you can get different tips and whatnot. You can get you a set of tips for like $12. But the tips you're gonna need is a 12 tip. It's basically a circle. And you're gonna need you, it depends if you want small roses or big roses. You're gonna need you a 124 tip. It has a big end and a small end. It's a 124 for a big rose, and you're gonna have to need or to get you a little small rose, you're gonna need you a 103. It has a big end and a small end, just not as big as the other one. Basically, what you're gonna do also you're gonna need is some wax paper. So what you're gonna want to do is take your number 12 tip, put your nice little dot in the center of your rose spinner. Oh yeah, you'll need some royal icing too, by the way. If you want to know how to make royal icing, I'll let you know. But this is actually buttercream icing with a little bit of color to it. Buttercream icing is very simple. It's basically butter and powdered sugar, it tastes really well. It tastes really, really good. It really do. So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your little dot in the center of your rose petal spinner and put your wax paper on it. Basically this is so the wax paper will not move. Some people, they don't have big hands like me, so they buy the bag, rubber bands to go on the bags and whatnot so the icing won't shoot back out. But I got big hands, so I ain't gotta worry about it. Basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your number 12 tip and you're gonna put it right here in the center. And you're gonna make you a nice mound to come all the way up for a bigger rose. You need a bigger mound. I'm gonna show you how to tell if your mound is gonna be big enough or not. You gotta make sure that it's at least bigger than your tip. Since I am using a big tip for a bigger rose, I got a bigger mound. You see how big it is compared to the tip? And this is a 124. Basically what you're gonna do now is you're gonna take your tip. Your big tip always has to be at the bottom, and your small tip has to be at the top when you're doing your rose. Basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna take you a part of your little mound, and you're gonna take the tip and you're gonna wrap icing around it, as so. And you're gonna go halfway around when you're doing this. Halfway. When you get halfway, you go straight down and you break it off, and you're gonna have something that looks just like this. When you do that, what you're gonna do now is go to the other side of where you went halfway at, and you're gonna put your tip at the bottom. Well, my bad, excuse me. You're gonna put your tip at the top, and you're gonna come around. I had it right, you're gonna have it at the bottom, I'm sorry. And you're gonna come around and you're gonna make 3 nice little round swoops with it. You're gonna spin it slowly as you're doing it. You're gonna make 3 nice little round swoops. 1, 2, and 3. And you're gonna have something that looks like this. After you do that, you're gonna go right here where you stopped at, and you're gonna make 5. Same exact ways. The big end at the bottom, the small end at the top. And you're gonna come around and you're gonna twist it slowly. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and you're gonna have something that looks just like this, a nice little rose. And if you want to clean it up a little bit, basically all you got to do is really simple. All you got to do is just make a little bit more swoops and clean it up, smooth it out a little bit. That's why you want to make sure your icing is nice and thick when you do this. And you got to make sure that your icing stays in the bag, so you don't want to have a big old mess all over your hands, which, you know, you're doing baking, so it's gonna be all right. You want to make sure you're nice and tight. So you want to make sure your rolls, your tips is nice and clean every single time you get ready to do this. So to get a nicer and smoother and cleaner rose, what you're gonna do is you're gonna just make a little bit more rose petals going around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're gonna always want to stop on an odd number, and then you have a nice little rose. So I'm gonna show y'all how to do a smaller rose. What you want to do now is when you get done making your roses and whatnot, you want to put it in the refrigerator so it can get nice and back and hard. So I'm about to put this in the refrigerator now, and I'm gonna show you how a nice hard rose looks like when it's nice and hard. Your rose petal, I can move it around, it's not gonna go nowhere. Nice little rose petal. Alright, now I'm about to show y'all how to do a smaller rose, which is the same exact method, but you're gonna use a smaller tip though. You're gonna use the actual 103 tip, I'm sorry. You'll use the 103 tip. So you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna get your icing, put your dot right here in the center of your roll spinner. Put your wax paper right here on the roll spinner. And what you're gonna do now is you don't have to have a biggest mound as you did with the big rolls. You're gonna just do a little small, nice little thick mound, but you gotta make sure it is still bigger than your tip. See, it's bigger than my tip. So since I got the mound there, I'm gonna make sure my bag is nice and tight, because you don't want to have air bubbles inside of your bag. That's why you want to keep your bag nice and tight. And you're gonna take your icing, put the tip right here at the top. Make sure you have the big end at the bottom, small end at the top, and you're gonna sit there, take it at the top of it, come around, do a nice little loop. Halfway, you're gonna go down and have something that just looks just like this. After you do that, you're gonna go on the side where you got it halfway at. You're gonna bring it to the bottom, and you're gonna do a nice little swoop. 1, 2, 3. It's gonna look just like that. And you're gonna do the same thing you did the first time on the bottom of it. You're gonna do 5. You gotta have nice little swoops of odd numbers. So you're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you got your nice little rose. Well, very simple work, didn't take long at all. Like I said, just remember to keep your bags tight and you won't have any problems. Make sure you keep your icing nice and thick. If you're not using your icing as you piping it, just keep it in the refrigerator. It'll stay nice and hard. When you get done, just take your rolls right on off, pop it in the refrigerator. When it get nice and hard, it's easier to take it off the wax paper and put it on your cake you've designed or whatnot. If y'all have any other types of piping y'all want me to do, just leave it in the comment area and I will show y'all as much as I can. Y'all have a good day.